Would you believe it if I said that one of the devil's greatest tools is love? One of the greatest weapons that he uses against us is love. The scriptures tell us that Satan will attempt to imitate the things of God. And if it were possible, he would even fool the very elect. Let me be clear about what I'm saying. Love, as configured by God, is a spirit, and a spirit can only walk in what it was created to do. When you walk by that spirit, you have power to manifest all of the characteristics that it bears. But many walk in a personal concept of love. A concept can be defined as a thought or an idea. So a concept of love is manifested through feelings or thought. So its characteristics can be easily manipulated or even changed. A woman says that she loves her husband, but she enjoys flirting with men. A man says that he loves his wife, but he abuses her. Both of these individuals feel that they love the other, but love doesn't vaunt itself like flirting does. And love doesn't rejoice in iniquity, which means gross and unfair behavior, such as abusing a spouse, physically, mentally, or emotionally. When Jesus was asked, "What is the greatest law?" he responded with, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, mind, soul, and strength." You may very well believe that you're doing that. But if it's through your own concept of love, how does it appear in the presence of God? Because of a self-endeavored concept of love within the minds of the Israelites, it was necessary that God sent a redeemer, one that would first redeem us from the law of sin and death, one with power to bring us to the place where we could truly understand the love of God, not only from him to us, but to know how it should look from us to him. Nobody would ignore it if their mate showed a love for them that was seriously lacking, especially if it seemed to be intentional. So if there was the slightest possibility that God felt shortchanged with the love you've been giving, wouldn't you want to know? If we really want to serve him in spirit and in truth, we can't figure that we've got it all figured out. We constantly go to him with our petitions and our requests. But it's time to start seeking what we need to do to hear his positions and his requests. Where there's no question, there can be no answer. To constantly go before God without a question of guidance implies that you already have it all figured out. And all you need now is a move of his hand. Through the month of September, I'll be putting on a study entitled A Misconception of Love. Hebrews 5:9 through 14 says, "And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him, called of God, a high priest after the order of Melchizedek, of whom we have many things to say, and are hard to be uttered, seeing that you are dull of hearing. When for the time that you ought to be teachers, you now have a need that one would teach you again the first principles of the oracles of God, and are become such as have a need for milk and not of strong meat. For everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. But the strong meat belongeth to them that are full of age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil." Are your senses exercised to discern good and evil? Can you see when things are contrary to the will of God, even in your intellect? If you're mature and you feel that you are ready to discern the difference between milk and meat, I ask that you would join me as we come together to discern the issues that we have missed, that we may, in fact, Be ready to consume the meat of the Spirit.